If you're a heat and air machine technician or even a salesperson, what is the power of checking in on friends and why does this matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. You know, in life, there's things that we go about around and we go through and we're all the way up here. Fantastic. And then in life, there's things that we go through and it's like all the way down, like all the way down here. And you never really know what somebody is going through. You never really know what's going on in their head. And sometimes the people that you think they're like way up here at the end of the day, they're like way down here and they've got their struggles or problems or issues, their worries and things that bother them. And so for you, there's probably a time where a friend calls you like, hey man, I was just calling to check in on you. Or, hey girl, I was just calling to check in on you. Every time that somebody does that for me, I start thinking, okay, now that I've hung up this phone, who can I do that for? Right? Somebody probably in my list, in my contacts, and he's just somebody to check in on him. Like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Do you need anything? Can I help you with something? You know, are you struggling with something? Do you just need somebody to talk to? And I don't mean to do it in like an intrusive way. I do it because like as human beings, we go through a lot. And if you're in sales or if you're in business, man, there's just days where it's like, man, I shouldn't have gotten out of bed today. There's days where you're on top, you're like, I'm not going to bed tonight because I'm just going to keep closing deals, right? But it's the times that you're down at the bottom that you check in on people that really do matter. And this is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. It's important for the people around you to know that you care about them because there's going to be a day where you're struggling and you're like, I just don't have anybody to talk to. It's just, there's nobody around. Like, who cares? Who cares? You know, I just wish that somebody would pick up the phone and call me and reach out to me and the universe opens up and it happens. But for you, one of the greatest talents and skills and abilities that you have is reaching out and building a network. And, you know, the other day, I bring this up because the other day I was thinking about a person and I sent them a message and I just said, hey, the universe is knocking, hope you are well. And I get this message back. They're like, I'm having the worst day of my life right now. I'm glad that you paid attention to the universe because it is really, truly a struggle and I don't know what to do. I said, call me. Person calls me on the phone, tells me what's going on. We trade war stories. I listen. They trade more war stories. I listen. And it was just a good reminder that the times where I have struggled the most in my life is where I appreciate somebody just reaching out. It's like the universe just says, reach out. So I'm going to give you a challenge today. Find somebody you haven't talked to recently and just call them, text them, whatever. Just, hey, just thinking about you. Hope it's all as well. And it'll probably be a surprise that about 80% of the time they'll come back like, hey, everything's fantastic. And 20% of the time somebody comes back and goes, man, I'm so glad that you reached out. I just needed to talk to somebody. I just need to talk to somebody for a few minutes. And I think that it would be fantastic. Can we just jump on the phone? Can we jump on a Zoom? Do you want to meet for lunch? You want to meet for dinner? Right? Like, realize that the problems that you go through in life and the problems that I go through in life, they can feel like they're super oppressive. They can feel like they're super difficult. And sometimes they're cyclical. Sometimes they're induced just naturally. It just happens to be a Wednesday on a full moon when you stubbed your toe getting out of bed. And sometimes it feels like everything is working against you. Nothing's working for you. And you just need an outside perspective and go, am I crazy? Do you see what I see? I mean, is this what's going on? Is this the problem? Is this the issue? So I challenge you today, reach out, pick up the phone, text somebody you care about, call them, invite them to lunch, just check in on them, right? Like in business, this is the thing that we forget is it's a contact sport. And whether you're in sales, whether you own a business, whether you're an executive, whether you're a chairman and own a bunch of businesses, you got to check in on each other. There you go. Got one or two things to do from here. Just one, two. Find the subscribe button, click on it. And every time I send out a video, you'll get an update or hit follow. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.